Can we get rid of umpires in baseball soon enough? The wild card round had some terrible calls, and it's time for Skynet to get active. We'll talk about that and a lot more right now. This is Offside Sports. Welcome to another episode of Offside Sports, live from the Loft 100 studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Check out their incredible lineup of portable speakers at turtleboxaudio.com. Also, thanks to Turf & Sons for the turf we sit upon. Turf & Sons, San Diego's #1 choice for turf installation. Find them at turfandsons.com. Team, how we doing? Another beautiful Offside Sports episode, and we are having a great chuckle amongst ourselves. The pictures in the beginning montage. I know, CJ, the email chain this week was, hey, can I please get another picture for the opening? And then I look at I can't speak for Dave or Allison, but I look at mine and I'm like, good Lord, I need another picture as well. Are you happy with yours? You got the sunglasses on, looking all,
I don't know. I'll keep.
Yeah,
Allie, pay attention.
Yours is good.
I have my sunglasses on and I'm hiking, which is
perfect.
Where I'd be if I wasn't here.
Speaking of good, how are we doing as far as our World Series picks are concerned? We did them with last show, right? Who we thought was going to match up in the World Series.
You know what? I had a good weekend. Much better weekend than Phillies fans, Eagles fans, Penn State fans. If you live in Philadelphia, it was a tough weekend. You live in New York, it was a tough weekend. If you're a Jets, Giants, or Yankees fan, it was a tough weekend.
Tough weekend.
I'm still alive. Both my teams are still in it, Mike. I had the Phillies knocking out the Blue Jays in the World Series.
Yeah, Blue Jays were just... Oh, but we'll talk about that.
Though.
We'll talk about.
I feel pretty smart right now, better than some.
We'll talk about the Vlad Jr. home run here in a second. Siege, who'd you have?
I had the Blue Jays beating the Brewers.
That's right. You didn't pick your brother's team, the Philadelphia Phillies, right?
You know, I am rooting for them.
Are you? Apparently it doesn't seem like it based on the fact that you're going with the Brewers and the Blue Jays.
He's not going to let you wear the ring in the bar.
Yeah.
Hopefully, NLCS, it's Brewers, Phillies, and then it's a win-win for me.
There you go. Okay, you're right. You're smart, and blood apparently is thicker than water. You take what you said. Certainly doesn't seem that way. Allison, what about you in the World Series? Who do you have, Allison? Hold on, Allison. I didn't hear what you said. Who do you have?
I have the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Went with my heart and my first love.
Yeah.
Padres.
Yeah, and how'd they do? Not too good.
Okay. They're out,
yeah.
But I still have those Blue Jays who demolished the Yankees this weekend.
My God, there's a stat from Vlad Guerrero Jr. Versus how the Yankees are doing. I've got the Philadelphia Phillies because I like Garrett Stubbs taking on the Toronto Blue Jays in this, and I think it is. And I've got the Phillies winning it all. Did I say that I like Garrett Stubbs? And unlike his brother, who apparently doesn't like him.
Maybe I'm jealous. Okay.
Little brother syndrome.
No, it's all good. All right, before we get to some rule changes that are sorely needed in baseball, one of the, I don't know, do we call it I don't think it's the most egregious non-call or bad call that we have seen, but we talk about it's time to either help the umpires or get rid of the umpires altogether in Major League Baseball. So you got the Cubs and the Padres in the wild card at Wrigley. It's Game 3. Each team has won a game. This was the deciding game in this. Xander Bogaerts is at the plate, and I just want you guys right now to watch what the call was as far as his end of his at-bat appearance. Here's the video of it.
Take below the zone to be able to spit on this pitch is a great at bat. He should be on first base. That is not close.
Boy, watch it just right below the bottom of the zone. You're right, KB. Carson Kelly might have stolen that one. He yanked.
He's like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Dave, you and CJ are the baseball experts. You've been coaching it forever. CJ is a professional baseball player. What did you make of that that call when you saw it?
The call was wrong. You know, here's the thing that's frustrating. I'm a baseball fan, as you said, a baseball coach. I was a player before. Here's the rules in baseball, Mike. Is first you're a player, and when you realize you can't do that anymore, you become a coach.
Sure.
When you realize you're not good at either one of those, you become an umpire. And that's always been the talk. That's always the way it's worked out. If you can't do the two things, then it leads to umpiring if you want to stay in the game. In a perfect world, we wouldn't know any of these umpires' names. And that's where we're at right now is we know these umpires' names. I've said it for years. It bothers me that we watched this game from Southern California, the four of us did, and yet we knew it wasn't a strike, yet the guy that's 3 inches from the hitter didn't know it wasn't a strike. And that's where it's wrong. And so my thing is you got to get it right. We do a thing where we pick games at the end of every single show.
Yep.
This is a deal where basically outside of California, you can bet legally on sports. And for you not to get the calls right, you're costing people a lot of money who bet on games. As a fan of Major League Baseball, they're so far behind the technology. It's gone on way too long. The NFL figured it out. The NBA figured it out. NHL figured it out. The technology's been there. This should have been done over 10 years ago of getting it right. And it just frustrates me look, I know Allison's a Padre fan and we give her a hard time. She has every right to be furious. And as a guy who wants it right, I was furious too.
Siege, you're a professional catcher in Major League Baseball, and you're perfect for this discussion, but you're also in that position where you don't want to piss off the ump behind you because you're going to need a call or two down the road or maybe in another game that he's umping for you guys. But if you're seeing that, I mean, is it time for the ABS rule? It goes into effect next year, 2026 season.
Yeah, it's time and it's coming. And, seeing that pitch, what is this, the top of the 9th inning, I'm sure Carson Kelly was back there sweet talking him all game and finally got one. He caught it really well, and it was a ball no matter what, right? Like, that's a ball and a half down, and, like, that can never be a strike. The ABS is here, and it's good for baseball. In AAA this whole year, we had it. And
what was it like?
It's awesome.
It worked.
Explain how it works.
Everyone says it's awesome.
So it's ABS's automatic ball strike system, and we'll be using the challenge. So it's not just that would be a ball every time. The hitter would have to sit there, tap his head, and challenge the pitch.
Okay.
It's really cool because it uses Hawkeye like you've seen in tennis.
Yeah.
Where the ball just goes barely past the line and it just zooms in. And it's this whole fan experience too, because everyone looks up at the screen really quickly, it just misses or it just clips it, and everyone's like, oh.
Sure.
And they get to be interactive with, how close a pitch was.
Right.
Where on screen, like when we saw that, like we all see the box and you're like, oh, that's clearly a ball. But when you're at the game, you don't really know.
No, and it happens so fast.
Yeah, and so I don't know how great it'll be, watching on TV, but it'll be great when you're at the game.
And you have to assume umpires are going to hate this. Anything that makes them look bad. I mean, I'm sure that they, replay has helped them. It's helped us as fans get stuff, hopefully stuff gets right in the game, but umps are going to hate it. Allison, you and I are John and Jane Q fan here. I love the fact that, good, take these, it's not the ump show.
Yeah.
It's called The Show, and it's because of the players in the game.
Yeah, I agree. And there was a game right before the playoffs started where the Padres and Brewers were playing each other, and the umpire missed 25 calls, and it was sort of equal between both teams. But that doesn't make it
Eric
okay.
Regg's still
That doesn't make it right that it was equally spread out. He still missed 25 calls. You can't do that. You've got to get it right. It's too important. These players work too hard. The managers and coaches, everybody involved works too hard for these guys to get it wrong.
Here's the deal. Even though this system that they're going to next year is better than what we currently have, it's still not the best system. The best system is every call is obviously automatic. And as he just said, the technology's there. Literally, you could flash up on the scoreboard, green if it's a strike, red if it's a ball.
Yep.
And immediately the umpire could sit there for the fans who want the experience of strike. But to know it's there on every single pitch, and then it takes the umpires out of it, it makes his job easier as a catcher. Basically, he's receiving the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about framing and trying to sell it, because if you run out of challenges, then it goes right back to what it was. But you can get every single call right, and the technology is there for it. So in 10 years, we'll have the same show and talk about the same argument. Hey, it's going to be different next year because it's going to take baseball 10 years to figure
The
this
umpire's
out.
going to be sitting off to the side of the plate near the on-deck circle in a bear cage and just going based on what the screen has. All right, speaking of baseball, they are reaping the rewards of great TV ratings, fan engagement with merch sales, and team valuations continue to rise. And it's all going to crash and burn after the 2026 season. We'll tell you why next, as Offside Sports rolls on right after this. Offside Sports continues from the Loft 100 Studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Find their awesome lineup of portable speakers at turtleboxaudio.com. And thank you to Harry Arnett, Mark Wahlberg, and everybody at Municipal for being the official wardrobe sponsor of Offside Sports. Municipal, bet on yourself. Find them at municipal.com. We've been talking baseball. The baseball playoffs are in full swing. We're now into the divisional rounds of the playoffs, and we're after 2026, when the collective bargaining agreement is up. Everybody and their mother is saying there is going to be a huge strike, and there's going to be a walkout or lockout, whatever you want to call it, and we're not going to have baseball possibly for 2 years. But I tell you what, before that, the baseball playoffs this year have been, again, reality TV at its finest. We just got done talking about the umpires screwing Xander Bogaerts at that. You've had great games. You've had come from behinds. And then you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays, who hits a grand slam yesterday. He was 6 for 7 in the game. The Yankees so far in the series are 6 for 44.
Wow.
Wild. That was the first grand slam in Blue Jays playoff history.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, this thing, that was one of those no doubters.
Yeah.
And then the bat flip, the bat was in the air for like 25 seconds. I mean, it was just.
He crushed it.
He crushed it.
It was up to the second level, I mean, deepest part of the park. It was wild.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
The TV, Dave, all four of us were talking about this last night in our group chat about how, even though, baseball right now contends with college football, they contend with NFL, which is king in the United States, the ratings have never been better.
Yeah.
People are locked in.
People are locked in, I think, for a bunch of different reasons. Number one, you obviously have huge star power. I mean, you're talking about in Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Dominican, superstar, right?
Yep.
His dad had made a name for himself in Canada as well. But when you look at what Ohtani has done, and superstars all over the place. The Phillies have a ton of superstars. The pace of game, I think, has been really the big difference.
Huge.
Is that you're getting the average game going about 2 hours and 37 minutes. One thing about the NFL is the game's exactly 3 hours. You could plan your day.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, sometimes it dragged and dragged. Unless you were a diehard fan, you just weren't following it. But everything right now for baseball is going so well. It's so disappointing to see that they could possibly mess this up when the game has never been better. And I mean in the last 40 years, because Mike, you and I are the oldest ones here, and when you and I were young as sports fans, baseball was number one. It was ahead of the NFL.
Big time.
And then the NFL passed it, and it's never looking back. But baseball at least should remain second ahead of the NBA.
I love the young superstars that they've brought in that with so much personality now, who aren't afraid to talk to the media, who seem excited about the game. I love the bat flips and all the personality. Do you enjoy that as a player?
It's great, and I think that, I'm not going to say people have respect for it, but people have a mutual understanding that, like, hey, if I strike you out, I might stand up and take a step towards you, and then turn it around. And
I love it.
It's just making the game fun. And I love what you said about, the game speeding up, because the players like it, the fans like it, and it just has kept fans involved in the game. Like,
it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, and it's can't miss. You don't want to walk away.
No, you don't. And when you get to the World Series, I don't mind a 4-hour game because the chess match, especially in a close game, to me is amazing. As somebody who doesn't know jack, what about the inner workings of a baseball game, I think it's fascinating to sit there and learn, and you learn, especially when you get a guy like John Smoltz, who's your color guy, who's explaining stuff in minute detail, and you're like, oh, that's why they're doing that. To me, it's awesome. But cutting the game time down, especially parents with kids, especially during the school year, it's like, God, we got to get home. It's 11 o'clock. We're only, in the 7th inning. I think it was great for baseball. Merchandise sales, I mean, they will stick a logo now on everything. It's permeated the sports fans, from tailgating before the game to whatever you want to wear. Your team, if you want it, your team's logo's on it.
And look what they offer now. Because when we were kids, you couldn't go out and buy an authentic baseball jersey of your favorite player. You were lucky to get a T-shirt with your team's logo on it.
Yeah.
But now you can go to a team store and get the authentic jersey, same jersey as your favorite player, and that wasn't even offered. Fitted hats are everywhere. Fitted hats have become a fashion statement. And so I used to say all the time, you could go anywhere in the world and you could find the New York Yankees logo. And now the Dodgers, because of what has happened the last few years, they've become the #1 hat in the world.
Yeah.
And that is crazy. You have 2 teams now, though, and that's great for Major League Baseball. Whether you can travel, and again, the Padres, we want to say what you want about a small market, but guess what? There are Padre hats in Manhattan right now. The Milwaukee Brewers have a cool logo. There are hats there all over the country, and it's become a fashion statement. For Major League Baseball to have a lockout or a shutdown is horrible. It's a terrible idea.
I love places. Allegedly, this website exists. It's called DHgate, and you can go buy contraband jerseys and fitted hats and stuff. You can't tell the difference. I swear to God, my son has a Manny Machado jersey. Unless somebody's working for Nike or Under Armour or whatever, whoever's making
Nike makes it.
Nike, you can't tell the difference.
I was in the Bay Area this weekend, and I saw hats from so many different teams. It was something I was really paying attention to because I was up there for a football game.
In all colors now.
Yeah, all colors.
Yes.
I want that red Yankee hat.
Yes. And I was up there for a college football game, but I saw so many baseball hats. A lot of Dodgers, a lot of Yankees, a lot of Red Sox, and surprisingly, I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan, but a lot of Padres.
Was
and
it
that
your family wearing the Padre ones?
No, it was me. But there were lots of others too. And I you know what? The other team I saw quite a bit of is White Sox, which I thought was interesting. So you see it all over now in the airport, around campus where I was at Cal. Like it was really impressive.
Well, you've got great TV ratings, you've got great merchandise sales, you've got fan engagement. The team valuations really shouldn't shock anybody. I've got the top 5. Yankees right now are worth $8 billion. The Dodgers $5.8 billion. Bo Sox are $4.7 billion. Cubs $4.5, and the Giants are $3.8 billion. The
If any of those went up for sale, the number would be higher, by the way.
Oh my God! Because now it's a status symbol.
Yes.
I want to own a sports team. It's not a yacht. It's not a Rolls Royce. It's not a mansion. I want a sports team. If you're a multimillionaire or a billionaire, Marlins the cheapest team, $1.2 billion. How much they're worth? Quickly, Yanks made $705 million in revenue last year. That's after everything was paid. And the Giants are 5th highest on that list. They made $533 million. Dave, your Dodgers made $701 million. And that is all about to explode after the 2026 season because the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, is up. And does your heart tell you, your gut tell you we're going to have a lockout?
We're going to have a lockout. It's going to be a long one. And the deal is, if people recall, in '94, before this season ended, and Tony Gwynn was about to hit 400, the Montreal Expos, who had never won, were on a tremendous pace. It becomes very frustrating. And baseball fans were saying, I'm not coming back. I'm so upset there was no World Series. I'm not coming back. What brought baseball back the first time was Hideo Nomo, the first Japanese player, and then Cal Ripken Jr. setting, of course, the consecutive game streak record. But then all of a sudden it was steroids, and guys are hitting home runs, and the fans came back. There was a reason to come back to baseball.
Sosa McGuire.
Yep. So I don't know what the reason would be to come back to baseball next. If there's a lockout, and here we go, right next to us, we have a Major League Baseball player who's thinking, wait a second, my prime is this amount of years.
Yeah.
I'm losing my prime. How long do I continue working out? Do I need to start thinking about a new profession? I mean, if I'm him, I'm stressing out.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because 4 years ago, right, I was, in a place where I hadn't reached the big leagues, and talking to my brother who had, he was like, hey, like, just so you know, like, we locked out 4 years ago, and we only missed, the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But it was important because what they're trying to do and what we're trying to do is for the next generation. And that's why the CBA in baseball is the strongest and so important, because it has grown the game and it has been good for the players and it has kept things even. And this is probably the biggest that we have seen and will ever see in baseball. So
it's such a shame because, again, Alice and I are sitting here as the fans with just a fan's working knowledge of the game, and you just get going with it, and then this comes up, and most people will be sitting there going, oh my God, the greed of the owners, the greed of the players, but we're not in there in the negotiating meetings. We're also not with the tax guy or the tax woman. We don't see the ledgers. $705 million is what the Yankees cleared last year, and they're worth $8 billion.
Well, that's what they're telling you. I
That's what-
guarantee that
thank
money's
you.
more because nobody ever opens the books.
Yeah, there's no Green Bay Packers in Major
Yes.
League Baseball that is publicly owned. So it's sad to think that, okay, we go into 2026 and yeah, we're going to have the ABS and the Hawkeye and the call balls and strikes are going to get better, but then after the season's over, in the you-know-what, because of, unfortunately, the collective bargaining agreement. All right, his company, Flag 50, is revolutionizing flag football for communities here in Southern California. How did it start? How tough was it to get it off the ground? And most importantly, where's it going? Jeran Fraser joins us next to talk about it. It's Offside Sports rolls on right after this. We continue on Offside Sports inside the Loft 100 studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Waterproof and insanely loud. Find their industry-changing portable speakers at turtleboxaudio.com. And this portion of the program presented by our newest partner here on Offside Sports, Babemos Tequila. Crafted from tradition, fueled by freedom, and made for those who chase the sun. Babemos is a way of life. Find your bottle at WeDrinkTequila.com. Jeran Fraser joins us in studio, and he is the brains, he is the genesis of Flag 50, flag50.com. Jeran, thanks for coming in studio, brother.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
I know you were expecting just like a little light bulb hanging down from the ceiling and a little card table and just us sitting around it, but no, we roll out the best for our best, and we're glad that you're with us here today on Offside Sports. For people who don't know, kind of give us the who, what, when, where, why of what Flag 50 is all about and what it's doing for the flag football community.
Yeah, Flag 50 started with me on a field watching my kid play flag football and trying to figure out what the best solution was to avoid yelling at the referee for a time or a score. And so what I did is I had been in the sports tech world for about 7 years, and I tried to develop over about a year and a half technology where we started with parents, and eventually it moved into figuring out a solution for the referees to actually time and score the game.
Okay.
And that provided the parents with a solution to follow that.
Now, is that a situation kind of like when you're in Little League, there's one parent or there's one mom who's like always the official scorer, she's got the book out and stuff. And I can remember as a kid playing flag, there was a father or a mom who was the timekeeper, and it was just all based on a volunteer, sort of hierarchy. And it seems you have completely streamlined this aspect of what now is a massively growing sport in the United States and internationally.
Yeah, it's a trip to see how fast it's growing.
Yeah.
When I jumped in about a year and a half ago, I promise you it wasn't growing as fast as it's growing now. I think the 2028 Olympics helps the cause a bit, and just watching female flag football explode is just amazing to watch. The media value in female flag is pretty cool to watch as well. Like having a chance to be at the NFL Flag Championships in Canton, Ohio, about 2 months ago, and watching on the fields these women play internationally as well has just been incredible to watch.
Is the NBL, good Lord, is the NFL Have you had conversations with them? Are you in contact with them? Are they kind of looking at you thinking, this Fraser guy's got something we may want to either steal from him or invest in?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we've had several conversations. I don't know what they want to do. Maybe they want to steal from me.
Yeah.
No, we've had several conversations. Obviously, NFL Flag is the largest flag organization in the country, approximately 800,000 participants.
Good Lord.
So we're working with some of the larger ones here in the U.S., which is exciting. And yeah, it's been some great conversations. We really just want to see the growth expand and try to help support that.
The sport is growing at such a tremendous rate. It's awesome. And first of all, anybody can play. I had a son who moved across country, and he said, how am I going to meet people? The first thing he did was he joined a flag football league. And it's turned in one of those where he's in a men's league, he's in a co-ed league. And then when you talk about it being where the girls are playing now, I love the fact that it's in high schools. And it gives girls a chance, whether you're playing as a basketball player and saying, I want something else to do when basketball season's not going on, or volleyball, whatever it is, all of a sudden you're seeing tremendous athletes on these fields. Now, when you talk about fields, it seems like an issue is there aren't enough fields out there. Like as cities, they have to do a better job making it basically more accessible for people to continue to play flag football. So to me, your app has come at a perfect time when the sport is growing and you're growing with it.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, and you're right. I think that is the biggest challenge, right? Is the real estate that takes to play these games.
Always.
And but I think that the cities have allocated a lot of field time for these flag football leagues to allow them to grow, which is neat. And yeah, it's going to be fun as we kind of expand with the technology. Right now we're timing and scoring, and we're moving into stats and profiles very soon.
Jeran Fraser is the CEO, the creator of Flag 50. They are helping the flag football community in Southern California. I think they're going to be nationwide pretty soon and international after that. Jeran, as far as the genesis and where you are now in the growth pattern of what you're doing, obviously finance is key to everything if you want to see it. Where are you as far as getting bigger, growing your team, and getting the word out for people?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of it's like the seven-headed dragon, so to speak. I mean,
Yep.
It's very, very difficult to balance it all. We are an AI-first engineering team, so we're building very lean. We're scaling quickly using AI resources. So that's been amazing for us. From a capital raise perspective, we raised a bit of capital, and now we're just kind of on the sales cycle of just really driving sales. So really working with some of the larger leagues.
Is that a tough pitch when you go in, or is it easy because you're talking to people about, hey, this is for kids in your community, this is for young people, maybe some parents or some investors like, I don't want my son or daughter putting a football helmet on, I just want them reaching for a flag?
The sales pitch is, here's the one challenge. The challenge is we don't have a lot of competition. So
Gotcha.
the challenge is no one else has built what we built. So it's really hard to go present something that is very different, right?
Okay.
And the other side of it is that the referees are used to using pen and paper, and I call this the pen and paper crisis of sports, and flag 50 sort of solved that for flag football, but.
You've got a great story. The last time I checked, based on the college football rankings, Ohio State is #1 with a bullet. And they've got this kid who plays quarterback for them, Julian Sayans, who is a Southern California, San Diego product. You've got a little connection with the guy.
We do. Carlsbad has, Julian went to Carlsbad High School. The Carlsbad High School coaches actually run FNL program here in Carlsbad, and Julian went through FNL. So the cool story is he went through the program up into, jumped into high school, and now is the best quarterback. Is he going to win a Heisman this year?
He certainly, it's funny. He certainly is in the running. CJ, I'm sure you came up through youth baseball leagues and little league and travel ball and stuff like that. Jeran, as far as where flag football is going and how it is growing, is it growing at a rate that we have no clue? Is it just moving at the speed of heat?
Yeah, I would say, we all, and I get in a room with people that play different sports, and I say, hey, who plays pickleball? And I say, I got bad news for you. It's no longer the fastest growing sport in America.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Female flag is now the fastest growing sport in America. So, yes, it's moving that fast. I mean, we talk, about D1 and the movement of D1 and female flag football. I think there's now 6 or 7 universities on the D1 side that have picked up female flag. High schools are blowing up all over the country with flag football. I think I just heard recently a couple of big high schools had 80 or 90 females try out for a 20-person team.
Amazing.
So it is growing at a rate that I've never seen a sport grow.
One thing I love about that is when I have a son who played Division I college football, and when you look at what they can do after their sport, after they're done. There's always been adult baseball, adult soccer leagues, swim teams, tennis. You can go play tennis the rest of your life, golf the rest of your life. But there wasn't a lot for football players. When it was over, it was just sort of over. So to have this opportunity, and now that you have this great AI-generated platform that's going to help the sport grow even faster and help it become this century, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is really neat to watch and to see. I think when you get to a D1 sport, I mean, the infrastructure for schools is there, right? Why every school wouldn't pick it up immediately?
Right.
They've got a football field. There's not a lot of money that needs to go into building the sport up for the school. I just heard Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is offering 26 scholarships in 2026 for females. So it changes the entire dynamic of sports if you think about it.
I just tried out for the lingerie football league and I got cut. But, maybe I can now go. I can go play flag football. Jeran Fraser is the CEO, the founder of Flag 50. The website's flag50.com.
That's correct.
For people who want to find out about it. And Jeran, as far as that is concerned, does someone just contact you and say, hey, we want to use the AI, we want to use the technology in our flag football organization, and you guys just kind of you take the ball from there and go?
Yeah, you can just go on the website. There's a contact form on the website.
Okay.
And one of our team, somebody from our team, will get a hold of whoever wants to get more information on onboarding the league.
Where are you going to be, you think, in a year from now, 18 months from here? What's the 18 months from now? What's the big hurdle or what's the big goal you've got in mind for Flag 50?
Ultimately, I just want to create a simpler process for leagues to bring on new teams and participants and grow that sport. And then I want to offer things like live streaming, AI clipping tools, athlete profiles, statistics, predictive analytics, things that we've done in the past with other sports, but really focusing on flag football.
Thanks so much for coming in today, brother.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great to see you. Thanks for letting us know about Flag 50. The website, again, flag50.com. If you are in the flag football world, flag50.com. It's where you should be heading. All right, who had big enough wins in the NFL to make it into this week's Power Rankings? We'll have those and the bet of the show next as Offside Sports rolls on right after this. Final segment here on Offside Sports, brought to you by Turtle Box Audio. Live free, listen louder. Find their amazing lineup of outdoor Bluetooth speakers, turtleboxaudio.com. And a big thank you to Paul Teran and everybody at 84 Lumber in Otay Mesa, California. They supplied us with the building materials for our brand new set. Reach out to Paul for all your building questions and needs at paul.teran at 84lumber.com. It was a wild A weekend in the National Football League. I'll just say it. Geno Smith is not the answer. That's all I'm going to say. Well, we no longer have any undefeated teams in the NFL. The Bills and the Eagles, who were the cocks of the walk, both lost yesterday. The Bills to the upstart New England Patriots, and of course the Eagles losing to the upstart Denver Broncos. Did the Broncos do enough to maybe crack some other people's power rankings? We'll get to the power rankings right now. Dave, you start us off. Who in the AFC is your top five?
It's changed because, here's the deal. It changed because of what happened with Buffalo. And I don't know why. I understand the uniforms are picked out before the season begins, but the uniforms that were on Sunday Night Football look like something out of Grease. Like the scene where they're putting that white car together. It looked like Grease lightning. I don't understand. Why are you changing something that's working for you?
At the country Grease, because everything is bleached white there as well.
So weird.
It works.
It was like right out of the movie. Like Dr. Bolton in the
you're right.
singing. All right, number one has to be the Colts, and the Colts should be undefeated, except for, again, one of those goofy fumbles right before you jump into the end zone. The Colts, I can't believe it, are the number one team in the AFC. Never thought I would say that, where I thought Indianapolis was going to be. The Bills are still great. Weird things happen when they face the Patriots. Remember they had a game a few years ago. The Patriots, I think, threw the ball 2 times and still won. So the Bills are my number 2 team. Chiefs, I understand where they're at, but they're getting better every single week. The only reason I have the Chiefs ahead of the Broncos, because the Broncos can do it all. They can run, and they have the quarterback-coach combination. They have a great defense. Honestly, Andy Reid and Mahomes have been doing it together longer, and I trust Mahomes more than I trust Bo Nix. And I hate to say it with the Steelers, they kind of just fall in because I needed a 5th team. I just don't have faith in Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm sure it will change, but I think you're going to see the Buffalo Bills back at 1 before this is all over.
All right, what about NFC?
NFC, it changes. Eagles drop to number 2 because the Eagles, again, get outgained in every single game they play, and they've finally caught up with them. A.J. Brown right now is a huge cancer. Eagles should trade him. He's poisoning Devontae Smith, and if you watch that last Hail Mary, I swore to Devontae Smith was going to catch it, but A.J. Brown was the best defensive back that the Eagles have and knocked it away from his own guy. Really bizarre. Lions are impressive right now. Who are we kidding? The Lions are a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
Number 1, Eagles 2, Buccaneers, and those old uniforms against the Seahawks look like I was watching a game from 1976. Sam Darnold bounces it off a guy's helmet for an interception. It was crazy as can be.
Yep.
And the Rams aren't playing up to their potential, but I think they're going to be good, and same with the Packers. Packers aren't playing up to their potential. I think 4 of those teams are there at the end of the season.
CJ Stubbs, let us know from the AFC what your power rankings look like this week.
I want to lead off by saying I'm not too confident in how I see these teams. However, one thing that you'll notice, Bills, Colts for me from last week are the same. And then I just have a AFC West jumbulation of the Chiefs.
That's all right.
Broncos and Chargers. I know that the Chargers just got their tails whooped by the Commanders yesterday.
27 unanswered points for Washington.
But I think they might have just caught a Jaden Daniels coming back fresh.
Yep.
And I still believe in them long term, even though I don't know why I do. Like, I don't like the Chargers. But for some reason, I guess I have a soft spot for them.
Yeah.
The Broncos looked incredible yesterday, making that comeback against the Eagles. And we're going to learn a lot about the Chiefs tonight. Chiefs-Jags. If the Jags win that game,
It's not a cakewalk for
they're
Kansas City.
a problem. They are
What
an
is your
absolute problem.
what does your NFC look like?
NFC looks the same at the top with the Eagles, Packers, and Lions. I am so impressed with the Seahawks team. They show grit. They just had an absolute shootout with the Buccaneers yesterday. And kind of the same. The Niners they're 4-1 and they just keep winning games. I don't really believe in them, but
I mean,
but they're there.
They're not
keep
going
winning
away.
games.
Yeah.
they beat the Rams while they're decimated with injuries.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they're in it
Allison,
for me.
start us off with your AFC power rankings.
Okay, first of all, I'm just dying laughing that everybody over here has the Broncos, who I said a few weeks ago, and everybody laughed at me, but here we go.
Sorry.
I have the Colts first because I think they're just playing out of their minds. Again, nobody thought that was going to happen this year, so that looks really good. The Bills, I know they lost a close one. Then I have the Jags, who I think also have sort of come out of nowhere, 4-1, looking great. And I think they're going to give the Chiefs a real test tonight.
I hope so.
Then I have my Broncos back in. I thought that to do 18 unanswered points against the reigning Super Bowl champions, and I thought Sean
Best one of the
McVay.
year. Best one of the year.
Yeah.
What did I say?
In Philly. No.
Yeah, in
no
Philly.
less.
And I also think with Sean McVay Sean Payton had very aggressive play calling. I thought it was a great win for the Broncos. And then Steelers, kind of like you, Dave, kind of just threw them in there at the end because they needed somebody. I know they had a bye, and I don't really believe in them either. I think they're going to collapse at some point very soon.
Okay, and your NFC?
Detroit Lions, who I love. I love the way they play. I love Dan Campbell. I love everything about the Lions right now. I put the Commanders because I thought they looked so incredible against the Chargers yesterday.
Yep.
Daniels is back. I also love their coach, Dan Quinn, incredible. Eagles are still in there, but I think we're really seeing some cracks in the Eagles, and I've kind of felt it all season, and I think we finally saw it. 49ers, what an impressive win with all those injuries.
Yeah.
To go in and beat the Rams, I thought was really completely unexpected. And then Baker Mayfield, how impressive is he with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another team we didn't expect to see
No.
where they are right now.
All right, my AFC looks like this. I keep the Bills number one because I think Bills-Colts head-to-head, the Bills would win right now. So I've got Bills number one. The Colts, they blew the doors off the Raiders yesterday. They embarrassed the Raiders. And when you can embarrass another NFL team, you got something going on. That's why I got the Colts second. I keep the Chargers, even though they've lost 2 in a row, and they completely cheesed against the Commanders yesterday. When the Chargers put it all together and they get healthy, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I've got the Broncos. They have cracked my top 5, and I've got the Steelers for the same reason everyone else does. I needed something to round out the top 5. As far as my NFC is concerned, Eagles and Lions, that could easily be switched. Lions number 1, Eagles number 2. I love the Bucs. I've said this each week. I love Baker Mayfield, what he is doing. I love the Rams and I love the 49ers, 2 teams from the NFC West. The 49ers just, like CJ said, they just win ugly and they keep it going. So that is my power rankings for the NFC. What are we going to bet on this week? The bet of the show is presented by our friends at Owner's Box Daily Fantasy Sports. Sign up today at ownersbox.com. Secure and fast withdrawals, industry-leading rewards, and amazing in-house user support all at your fingertips. Click on ownersbox.com and start playing today. Allison, go ahead. You got about 15 seconds to be mad because we wiped the slate clean. CJ Stubbs coming back to our program. And you were in a huge lead, but
welcome,
now we're all back to zero.
I was in first place the entire season, crushing everybody.
Crushing.
And then we wipe it clean because this guy decides to come back to work.
Yeah, well, he's a Major League Baseball player.
It's so unfair.
Put it on your LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay,
go to MySpace and cry about it. All right, go. Who's your bet for today? For tonight, excuse me.
I'm a little leery about this, but I did take Travis Kelce to have more than 43.5 receiving yards over Jacksonville tonight. But Jacksonville's defense is solid, so I'm a little nervous about that pick. But here we go.
All right, Allison, you won your bet last week, so you're currently at +1. You're tied for first with Dave Pelley, who also won his bet last week. Dave, who you going with this week and why?
Well, I didn't take the Taylor Swift connection, which she did. So I'm going to go Jacksonville on this side. I'm going Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the league, more than 57.5 receiving yards against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jacksonville is another one of those teams where they just kind of suddenly arrived on the scene this year, although we know what they have with Trevor Lawrence. We know what that this football team, with Etienne running the ball and catching it out of the backfield, what they could do, and they're suddenly here, and they're probably going to give the Chiefs a game tonight. All right, my choice is I'm going with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, more than 23.5 attempts in this game. I think in order for the Chiefs to win it.
That says completions.
Completions.
Not attempts.
Yeah.
Completions,
I'll take that bet too.
Completions in this game. I think they're going to be throwing the ball all over the yard. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, more than 23.5 completions. I stand corrected. CJ Stubbs, you and I both lost last week. We're at -1 point. Where are you going?
I'm going with Tyquan Thornton, over 14.5 receiving yards. You want to know why you're going to love this one?
Why?
All it takes is one reception. Tyquan Thornton, take the top off. Give me some Patty Mahomes.
Right.
All it takes is one.
Okay.
maybe even a screen pass.
That's
Give me
a great
15
bet.
yards.
That's still in his Patriots jersey in the picture.
Yeah.
I know. I'll call Sandy at Owner's Box and say, hey, dude, you got to get him in a Chiefs jersey. That's great theory. I like that theory.
He's a boomer bust player. He kind of busted last week, so give me a boom this week. Come
All
on,
right, as we
Tyquan.
put a lid on this episode of Offside Sports, a massive thank you to everybody here at the Loft 100 Studios for making this show possible. Thanks to Turtle Box Audio, Municipal Clothing, Bebemos Tequila, Chase the Sun at WeDrinkTequila.com, Owner's Box Daily Fantasy, 84 Lumber for their support and partnership, and Turf & Sons for the surface of our brand new stage. Click on turfandsons.com today. Most of all, we thank you. We will see you next time on another episode of Offside Sports.